What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Formula America podcast. We're your hosts, Kurt and Dylan. And Dylan, I think we have a good bit to talk about from Monza.
Do we start with it?
I think we might need to. And to set it up, Monza itself had about, I don't know, maybe 10 good laps at the beginning.
I'd give it 15. 15 good laps.
It had a little bit. I texted you at one point and I was just like, I'm bored.
Yeah.
It's like, and then at the end, McLaren, they did the McLaren thing again.
What is your take on it?
Okay. I've been trying to think about this, and so I'll talk about it chronologically. Initially, as soon as it happened, well, first off, leading up to it, we get the radio message that they're going to box Lando, and Lando's like, "Oh, why don't you box Oscar first? You want to do that?" I thought that was kind of weird.
That was a super strange moment. I totally agree.
Yeah, that one was kind of weird. And then he's like, well, as long as he doesn't get the undercut, box him first. And they're like, okay, yeah, no undercut. We'll box Oscar. And then you see, like, you're thinking, like, it's a strange one, but whatever. And then you see Lando with his slow pit stop. And you're like, that's why you don't do that.
That's why you don't
box
do that.
Oscar first. And then as soon as that happens, I immediately go back to Hungary last year. And I'm like, they set the precedence. They need to now swap the cars because it's not Lando's fault. He's been in the lead this whole race leading.
Also not Oscar's fault.
It's not. But last year, if you remember, it wasn't, Lando or Oscar was leading Lando that race. And then they had a bad pit strategy. Lando was in front. So thinking back to that, I'm like, you know what? They have to swap the cars. But then after the race, I was thinking about it and I was like, I wasn't a fan of that decision last year. I don't think I'm a fan of that decision this year because when does it stop? Right? At what point do they say, okay, now we have to take that rule or that precedent that we've set off the table and you guys are going to race on your own? Even Max said it at the end when GP was like, oh, they swept the cars.
He's like, for a slow pit stop?
Huh. And I was watching an interview. He did a Dutch interview after the race and he was asking him, he was like, so if that was you, before he even got the question out, Max was like, I wouldn't have done it.
No.
He was like, that's what I thought. Yeah. So it makes me feel icky. We talked about it last year. As a Lando fan, I'm glad they did, and he did deserve to get the second place. But honestly, I wish he would have taken it on track. I think he probably had a good chance of passing Oscar. I just think the way they went about it, it's got to stop.
I 1000% agree with you. I think that P2 is Lando's position. He earned it. He outqualified him. He outdrove him. Lando deserved P2 in this race. And so I don't fault Lando or Oscar for ending the race in that order. What I fault is the McLaren pit wall for doing that. And especially when you have two title contenders, right? If this is Max and Sergio 2023, it's irrelevant, right? Like, or Hamilton and Bottas 2020, right? Completely irrelevant. But you have two title champions. We've got 8 races left now. What if this is the last race? What if what if they're dead even on points? This is the last race of the season and Lando gets a bad pit stop even though he chose to go second. Do you tell Oscar to give it up? Like, it's the team orders are yucky, and I don't like that. And I don't fault the drivers in any way, shape, or form. Kudos to Oscar to being a team player because you can tell even on that he was like, we didn't talk about a slow pit stop being a me problem here. Like,
yeah. So
kudos to Oscar on that, but the team orders are gross. It needs to go.
It is. I understand why they did it. It wasn't the driver's fault. It was the fault of the mechanic.
But that's racing at a certain point.
Exactly. It is. Racing is a game of chance. It's a game of luck. Like you can have the best strategy in the world. And look at what happened last week. Yeah. Lando's car just shit the bed. So, I mean, it's ugly. And I hate the fact that it puts the drivers in that negative. Like, look what it's done to Lando, his social stock. He was getting booed on the podium. And
he got freaking booed on the podium, dude.
Yeah.
That's why I've never seen that.
Like you said, it wasn't his fault, but now he's in this position where it's going to be a mental drain on him.
A big thing I dislike about Lando is it does feel like he is constantly getting fed on a silver spoon. It does feel, and I don't actually logically think that he is, and the scoreboard would say that he isn't. But every time we turn around, I feel like Lando is getting the hookup, and I don't like it.
That's funny because you see that all over social media too, like all the memes about Zach Brown, like that's Lando's like poster child and that's his boy. And yeah, like you said, realistically, it's probably not happening, but the optics, man,
the optics sure does look like great.
And when that happens, you get a Lance Stroll situation where it's like it starts to turn the tide on him, and yeah, it sucks. It sucks. But
and it's not a good business move, right? I don't think anyone's going to argue here that Oscar is the future of that team. This is Lando's 1 year, I think. I think this is his chance, and I see Oscar becoming a better driver than him. I think his potential is higher. And so it's not a good business move if you're going to turn Oscar down. And at the end of the day, this is a business.
Yeah, I do want to go back. I want to know Lando's thought process on being like, oh, why don't you pit Oscar first? I can't wrap my head around that. I don't get that.
And the funny thing is, I've got it pulled up over here. Andrea Stella did a whole interview afterwards, and he says it was their decision to pit Oscar first. And they still also don't say why they wanted to pit him first. The speculation is to ensure that Leclerc didn't get ahead of him, but Leclerc was a mile behind him. Like it was, it's weird. Very, not good optics.
It's a good way to put it. Very weird. Yeah. And now that's the talking point of the entire race. With everything else that happened, that's like what everybody's stuck on right now.
So I'm kind of happy that we're in accordance on that. I had a feeling we would be, but
yeah. Hey, heat of the moment, I was like, they need to do it. They need to swap it. But thinking about it, yeah, you're right. Logically, yeah, whatever.
Lando deserved to be P2.
Yeah.
But you said racing is a game of chance. And a pit stop's a part of that. There's a reason pit stops are mandatory because it's a team sport.
Yep. So I would hate to be that left front front tire guy.
Can you imagine?
When the other guy like hit him, it was like, do it again.
But
to just walk out into oncoming traffic at that point.
Yeah, pretty much. Just walk on down to Red Bull's garage. You guys need a new mechanic.
They're like, no. After that performance?
Speaking of Red Bull, Max.
Holy crap, man. That car was dominant
Did you see that he had, so obviously everyone had the Monza spec, lowest downforce rear wing. They cut more of Max's wing off, but not Yuki's.
Yeah. Yuki also had a different floor from what I just read.
Yep.
But I mean, hey, Max can handle it.
Max was 6-7 seconds ahead, running 4/10 a lap faster than Lando, who was running 4/10 a lap faster than Oscar. Like,
yeah,
that Red Bull loves zero downforce.
Yeah, that's for sure. That one, it definitely came alive. I don't think anybody expected Max to win, let alone 20 seconds. But so I pulled up a track dominance comparison between Lando and Max. And I was looking at it. Max is quicker in all of them, I say. But the two real high speed corners, Max was quicker than Lando.
Which you would not expect because Lando had more downforce. So you'd think the high speed corners Lando could take faster.
Yep. Lando had the advantage in the chicanes and the lower speed corners.
Probably because he had better braking.
Yeah. That just, man, it goes to show you again, like Max earlier, a couple races ago, said he didn't expect to win another race this season. But you can never count that guy out, man. He's just absolute greatness right now.
I love it. I love that you can never count him out. Even driving a tractor.
Yeah. And it was to see, like, they kept cutting to Kelly PK during the podium. And just the look in her eyes, she's like, that's my man. She's like, he's the best.
Robert Kubica, who?
Oh, Danny Kvyat?
Danny Kvyat, not Robert Kubica. Danny Kvyat, yes.
Oh, yeah, good upgrade for her.
But, what dominance. That was a ton of fun. Lando broke the track record as he came around. First of all, and this is, I am so sick of the TV director. Is the guy not an F1 fan? Like, seriously, why are we watching Alex Albon's qualifying lap when you have Lando Norris purpling sectors?
Yeah.
But we're going to watch Alex Albon's? Like, what are we doing here? The amount of times that we were watching something completely random when something actually cool was happening is very aggravating. But
what I don't like is when they do a replay of the start for like 2 laps straight.
Yes.
It's like put the little box on the side so I could at least see what's going on.
Same thing with like the timing pillar on the left-hand side, where like it's the beginning of the race, everyone's really close, and they're like, this is the potential points for the weekend. And you're like, I don't care. Put the times back up, please.
I want to see the intervals.
Who's at DRS right now? They're like, does everyone see what tires everybody? You know what? Now we're just going to show their names, actually. And you're just like, put the damn times up there.
It should never just be the names.
It should never just be the names.
The default should be the intervals.
Or they'll have it like based on the leader. And I'm like, I don't care about the total field spread right now.
Now I have to do math.
But Lando broke the freaking track record. They went to the top of the timing charts, and then Max on his tractor comes around and blows that out of the water by another 10th. You're just like, how?
It's almost like when somebody, I feel like Max, he feeds off greatness. And so when somebody does something like that, think back to Monaco when Fernando Alonso put in that awesome qualifying lap. And then Max is like, okay, challenge accepted.
They made up 3/10 in the final sector. Never been done
unheard
before.
of. So yeah, it's like, I feel like Max, he rises to the level of like, if everybody else is at a high level, he's going to be able to rise to that and then surpass it.
Yeah.
And it's one of those like generational just talents. And I feel like, you know, it's awesome to be able to watch this right now.
Yeah, it definitely. I'm Nico Rosberg's words, not mine. Or was it? It wasn't Nico. It was Jensen Button's. That Max might be the greatest driver of all time. That he said, if you put Schumacher, Senna, and Max in identical cars, he does believe Max would take it. I'm like, that's a little bit of blasphemy, but I'm not saying I agree or disagree with it because that's such different eras. But that's a hell of a set of names to be mentioned in.
Yeah, for sure.
By a former world champion.
Yeah, it's definitely very high praise. But man, so back to the race. I will say I was super proud to see Lando's start where he actually finally held on to say he didn't drop back. He even went off into the grass.
Yeah, and then he tried to blame Max for that, and it was like, well, actually, Max did a really good, clever, a little bit devious where he left racing room. It's not his fault. Yeah. The track just got narrower right there. You know, he just let the track do the dirty work for him there, but Lando stayed in it.
He did. I saw that and I was like, yeah, typical. Lando's about to drop back to like P4, P5, but no. And then the highlight for me was that Charles Leclerc got in front of Oscar and was finally able to hold him up. He passed him, Oscar passed him, and then Charles got back in front. And I was like, yes, create space, let Lando drive off. But he didn't drive off because Max ended up coming back.
Yeah, he did. That the first like 5-6 laps, every time they went into turn 1 or 2, my heart rate started getting like they got so clear. It's like, oh man.
We've seen so much happen there.
That was truly awesome. That first like 10-15 laps was an absolute nail biter.
Yeah, for sure. That was incredible. And then let's see, who else did we have? We had Carlos Sainz and Ollie Bearman coming together. Which I feel like as soon as they swapped, the camera went to them and you saw them going side by side, I was like, I know what's about to happen. Yeah. Like you could see that from a mile away.
Whose fault do you think it was? Racing incident, Bearman, or Stroll? Or Stroll, sorry, Sainz, other S word.
Stroll, definitely Stroll.
Definitely Stroll.
That's the default. Honestly, I've looked back at it. I think that I put it 50-50. I don't think that one was really... Carlos cut across like Ollie wasn't there, right? I feel like, what do you expect Ollie to do? Like, you expect him just to slam on the brakes at that point. I think that was strong defense from Ollie. I think it was a bit aggressive from Sainz. I say 50-50 probably.
I'm at like 70-30 against Sainz.
You think more Sainz?
My issue is Ollie wasn't at his back wheels. His freaking front wing was next to Carlos's front tires. Like, yes, it was Carlos's corner. He was ahead. But why are you going to slam the door like that? You're an experienced driver. That you have a rookie who is almost completely alongside you, and you're just going to sweep across the track. because you think that he's going to have the wherewithal to slam on the brakes. Like, I think that was more Carlos's fault than last weekend with Carlos and Liam Lawson.
Yeah. Honestly, I think that it's showing. I think Carlos is getting frustrated.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's extremely frustrated with his situation. He's looking at, like I said in the last one, Lewis isn't doing much with his car that he took from him. He's down in the Williams. He can't do much there. Albon is freaking in the form of his life right now, I feel like. And Carlos is just floundering. And I think he's getting frustrated and taking extra risks. And I think it's unfortunate that Ollie got penalized for that.
Yeah.
And he got 2 penalty points, puts him at 10 penalty points now. And so now he's got until his first points don't drop off until after Mexico. So he's got, 4 races?
Yeah.
Where he can't get another penalty. And so, or he gets a race ban. So,
yeah, I agree with you. Did you see the very sad in lap at the end of the race where the 2 Ferraris drove next to each other and then Carlos was right behind him? Sorry, Carlos.
I know he's just envisioning that his car was still red.
Yeah, he's just sitting there going, if I dive bomb him now, what happens?
He's like, hey, supposed to remember me.
Yeah.
Used to
Once
be
a
one
Ferrari, always a Ferrari, right, guys? Guys?
Shut up.
I say we do the heroes and zeros. I think we're going to hit the rest of the race with those.
Okay, let's go on to the heroes and zeros. Let's go with, I'll start off with my zeros. How about that?
I got a ton of zeros, so go for it.
Okay, cool. So my first zero, I'm going to go with Yuki Tsunoda. Yuki Tsunoda, which I feel bad for this guy. I had such high praise for him in the Racing Bulls, and now he is just getting defeated. He qualified P10, finished the race P13. As a comparison, Isaac Hadjar started in the pit lane and finished P10, so he finished ahead of Yuki.
Yuki got beat by Bearman, Sainz, Hadjar, Antonelli, Bortoletto, and Albon.
Oh,
that's all the cars in front of him. Like,
I understand that compared to Max, Yuki had a different downforce and aerodynamic package. But man, it's just piling on. And I think that, as much as we say like they need to stabilize the boat, if he doesn't start performing, I think Laurent Mekies is going to kind of have to make that decision on, do we move on from Yuki? And if they do move on from Yuki, pretty much everything else is sealed up. Like, he's not going to have anywhere to go next year if they don't drop him back down to Racing Bulls, which I don't know if they would.
I don't know. I think it's too early for that. Yuki is a talented driver, and he has showed that. I'm really hoping they're going to give him a shot next year with the new regs. And
I definitely hope they do
survive through the year, right? And to your point, who do you move up? That car is so hard to drive. Don't do that to Hadjar. Like, who do you move up?
Yeah.
It's not going to happen. I think it's too early to talk about kicking Yuki out, but it ain't looking good.
It is definitely too early, and I definitely hope they keep him, but it's like poking him with a stick. Like, do something. I need you to get some points. Just get a couple, even if it's a P10, get a couple P10s, get 1 point, get some confidence, and change the narrative, that negative narrative that's around him right now. So Yuki's my first zero.
That's fair.
My second and my third zeros are going to go together.
Okay.
So I've got Carlos Sainz and Ollie Bearman.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think Carlos is getting angry. I think he's getting desperate. I think he's starting to take unnecessary risks. And with Bearman, 10 penalty points right now, man. There's a lot of season left, and you got 4 more races where you got to keep your nose extremely clean.
And they're not easy races. We're going to Azerbaijan next.
Yeah. It's we'll see what happens. Did you see the video posted on YouTube where Ollie Bearman went karting undercover this weekend?
No, I did not.
They dressed him up as like an old man. They did the full prosthetic, like makeup and everything. His challenge was he had to qualify dead last and then do a last to first in the race and then reveal himself on the podium, which he did. And it was just pretty entertaining. Yeah, it was pretty entertaining to watch.
I bet that was.
All right. For you, what's your zeros?
You hit a couple of mine. I've already talked about a couple of things like the McLaren team orders and the TV director. So I'm going to pick some other ones. Aston Martin. Stroll's dead last. Fernando Alonso DNF because his suspension broke. The issues just continue to pile on for that team, and I hate it.
I didn't see. Was there a reason that Stroll was dead last other than the driver?
TV director never said or showed anything about him.
Okay, yeah. I wasn't sure if he maybe had an incident or if it was just Stroll being Stroll.
I think it was Stroll being Stroll. But to pile on top of that, my other one is Alpine, who both finished one lap down just in front of Lance Stroll.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's not looking good. Pierre Gasly just re-signed too on a multi-year contract
through 28, I believe it was. It was a long one. I was surprised.
Yeah, they probably forked up a bunch of money for him. He's French, they're French. It's good to have him there. But man, I would hope that they have something in the works for next year because it's not looking good.
It's awful. You kind of took I just want to hammer on the McLaren team orders one last time. And the thing I want to hammer on is NASCAR, IndyCar, and I believe WEC have all banned team orders telling you that can manipulate positions.
Interesting.
You cannot in any of those sports tell drivers to swap cars into different point systems. So if you're in the very back of the field and things are going on, that's kind of whatever. But if points are at stake, you are not allowed to tell drivers to swap. I'm sure there's code words. I'm sure there's some ways around that, but I'd love to see that be considered, that it's not an option. You cannot tell them to swap positions if points are on the line. And I think that would solve a lot of problems.
Yeah, especially a lot of the PR issues that are coming about it.
I think that'd be a really interesting thing. There's always going to be ways around anything, but I think that would cover the PR. And why would Lando, if that was the rule, you're not allowed to switch positions, would Lando have let Piastri pit first? Right? Like, what's the second and third order effects of, hey, you're not going to get team orders if something goes wrong. So pick your strategy wisely.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I think it comes down to that decision. Why would he make that? Why would he say pit him first? But
yeah, I agree. So
we'll never know.
Heroes. I guess I get to go first. You went first on zeros.
Go for it.
I'm going with Supermax.
Oh, of course. Yep.
I'm going to give it to Lewis. Qualified P5, 5-place grid penalty, P10, and pretty. The first 10 laps, that dude was moving through the field.
He was. He was definitely. I was excited to see that. I think he finally settled into where that car belonged.
Yep.
But man, it was so good to see him just lap after lap, just picking people off. I'm sure he was having a good time.
I think he was. It was very old form Lewis, and it was really fun to watch.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to be kind of cheeky, if you will, and I'm going to pick for my final hero P7 through P10. Alex Albon, Gabriel Bortoleto, Kimi Antonelli, and Isaac Hadjar. And they raced their asses off for that. It was a ton of fun. We got three rookies and Albon, who's also driving a tractor. And it was great to watch. There was strategy at play. There's Kimi going buck wild and crazy out there, as he seems to do, apparently. It was a ton of fun to watch.
It was awesome to watch. It's almost like with the rookies, they're back in F2 again and just out there having fun. That was definitely good. I like that little grouping right there.
So that's my three-ish.
All right, mine are. Let's see. You already said Max, so I will take that off. It's funny. I have three of them, which you just said. Alex,
sorry, I took a bunch of them with that, but I was like, that whole group is awesome. I want to.
So I'll say that Alex, P14 to P7. That's awesome. He now moved up to P7 in the Drivers' Championship. He's on it right now, man. He's doing a great job. Much to the chagrin of Carlos Sainz over there.
Yeah.
Then we've got Bortoleto, started P8, finished P8. He's only qualified behind Hülkenberg twice since Miami.
Yeah.
Bortoleto is on it right now, and he's solidly putting himself, I think, in the conversation for Rookie of the Year with Isaac. I think that the rest of the season whoever finishes, has the better run is probably going to take that. But Isaac, man, pit lane start to P10. He had to change his engine. I got to give it to him as well. And I will say, I want to give it also to Lando. I feel like He earned his spot. Unfortunately, the way he got it was yucky and ugly.
He also broke the track record. Unfortunately for him, Max broke that track record immediately afterwards. But what a drive.
So speaking of the records, man, Max got what? He got the fastest qualifying lap in history, which he took from Lewis Hamilton, which is based on average top speed, I believe.
Yep.
Or average,
or average speed overall, I believe it is.
Average speed overall. That's a better way to put it. Yep. And he also broke the record for the quickest Grand Prix in Formula One history at what, an hour and 13 minutes? Which, as we're watching, I'm like, we're halfway through and we've only been like 45, 50 minutes right now.
Yeah.
Wild.
It was super weird. But yeah, I mean, all kinds of record breaking this weekend. Hour 13, 24 seconds.
So next year, do they make it more laps? I feel
like it's based on race distance. Well, with what is it? Stefano Domenicali's talking about the new generation doesn't watch the whole race. They're talking about making shorter races. It's like, don't do this. We already have sprint races. Leave 300 kilometers is the race distance. Don't do this.
I feel like, right now they're like trying to make a lot of changes. Pretty soon, if he gets his way, it might be like NASCAR, which I don't understand.
They have
the races within the races. Like I don't get it. But
no, just make the cars smaller and quicker. That'll be fine. That'll take care of it. And
once a year, I want to see every Formula One driver contractually mandated to do one karting race where all of them get in karts and they go out and race. I want to see that.
Okay, I think is that all of our heroes and zeros?
That's all right. Yep, that's our heroes and zeros. Let's move on to our predictions.
Let's not move on to our predictions. How about that?
That one was painful. We'll do predictions, then we'll hit up fantasy.
Which was also, you said yours was painful. I haven't looked at mine yet, so we'll figure that out together.
Yes, sir. All right, so on to the predictions, which I was, 1 point ahead or 4 points ahead?
One.
Oh, buddy. All right. My lead is diminishing and I might have lost it. So let's see.
I don't know. I don't think I picked up anything. So you might be safe.
All right. So this week on pole, I predicted that it was going to be Lando Norris, who apparently broke the record and should have been on pole, but somebody else had something to say about that.
I'm a fan. Yes. And mine was Oscar Piastri. And, the 1 week I don't put Max anywhere on my freaking podium, he does this crap. So that was wrong.
So we both missed pole. P3. I got P3. I had Oscar Piastri. So that's 1+ for me.
I had Norris, who I almost had, except for Zach Brown loves him. P2, I had Leclerc. He was close.
P4. He was P4.
He's P4.
I had P5, so I had George Russell in my P2.
Yeah.
So that didn't work. And then for P1, I had Lando Norris, but 20 seconds ahead of him was Mr. Max Verstappen. So.
I had Piastri.
All right. Wild cards.
Ooh. So close.
Oh, I lost my wild card. All right. What was your wild card?
Williams top 6 and Albon was P7.
Well, I piggybacked off your Williams and I had that Carlos Sainz would outperform Alexander Albon.
Not didn't happen so much. So you got 1 point and I got 0.
Yes, sir. All right. So now my lead extends to 2 points. I got to get back on it.
That makes 2 of us. All right. Now we go to fantasy, which I stayed in 10th place, but you dropped below me. I am officially ahead of you.
Yep. I dropped down to P11.
By 2 points.
My issue was, which 2 points is absolutely nothing in fantasy.
Nothing in fantasy.
I had Fernando
But if you
Alonso,
ask any racer, any real racer.
Hey, doesn't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. You got to have family. So Fernando Alonso. And I also had Aston Martin as one of my teams. So both of those were negative points.
Oh, I was looking at yours, actually. I didn't have any negative points. I got points from everyone. I had Piastri. Sainz only got 3 points. Ocon only got 1 point. Bearman only got 3 points. But I raked in points.
Very nice. You did a good job.
We still have Advantage Max sitting on top with a almost 300-point lead.
Yep. The top 3 had no change. So you got Seat Full of Water in P2 and Providence in P3.
Whew, Hulkenberg had minus 20 points this weekend. Oof. Then you have My Cars 1 that moved up from 5th to 4th. Womp Womps dropped down to P5. Alonso got him, it looks like. Then you have Surefire, Pod Squad, Rohan 1504's Team Shumi, Give Me the Steering Wheel, who jumped me to P9 and demoted you to P11, and I round out the P10.
Damn it. Man.
We are checking. Speaking of, what did Leclerc say? That they're like, we'll talk about it after the race. He said something earlier on, like, why was that? And they're like, don't worry about it. It's like, of course, that's Ferrari's answer.
Yeah. And also on the radio, what about qualifying when George Russell comes out and he's like, what tires are these? Are these the softs?
Passive aggressive.
And they're like, yeah, they're softs. And he's like, I thought I said I wanted mediums. It's like, come on, like so passive aggressive. Like just come out. You know they're softs. You could see the red.
Yeah, just so passive aggressive. I can't stand that dude.
Yep, but he's still quietly there. All right, so let's look at the championship world, the WDC right now. Let's see, who do we have? Drivers. So we now have, let's see, Oscar at 324, Lando at 293 points.
31-point lead.
Max is down at third with 230 points.
Actually, not all that far behind for how dominant those McLarens are.
Right.
Max is not that far behind.
He's really not. And I think it's because the McLarens have kind of gone back and forth, taking points off one another. But then let's see, George Russell in P4, Charles Leclerc in P5, Lewis behind him in P6.
And then it really drops off to Albon.
Yeah.
Actually, kind of after Leclerc, it drops off, unfortunately for Lewis, because you go 194, 163, and then Lewis is at 117. So it's almost a 50-point drop. And then it's 47 points down to Alexander Albon. So
looking at the teams, we've got obviously McLaren way out in front, but then Ferrari and Mercedes, 280, 260 points respectively. They have a 20-point gap.
That's a good weekend away from swapping.
Yeah, and Red Bull or Max Verstappen is down in P4 in the championship. He's P3 in the drivers and P4 in the constructors.
Okay, so Red Bull has 239 points, of which Max is 230. Just to put that into perspective.
They legitimately should just cross out Red Bull and just put Max.
That would be awesome. That'd be so funny. Because after Red Bull at 239, it drops down to Williams at 86.
Yeah. Rich, that one right there, looking at, let's see, P9 up to P6. So Aston Martin has 62, Racing Bulls has 61, Kick Sauber has 55, and Haas has 44. Those guys are all pretty close right there.
They are, especially Aston and Racing Bulls. And when you think about roughly $10 million in prize earnings per spot difference.
Yeah.
What was it last year? Alpine, they got that like 2-3 finish or whatever and jumped up it's like a $30 million weekend for the team.
That was a big win for them. Yeah. I don't know. On this one, I'd be willing to bet that Racing Bulls passes Aston Martin.
The way that things are going, yeah, it's kind of the way Hadjar's driving and the way that reliability and Strollisms.
Oh. All right. So what do we got coming up next? We got Baku, Azerbaijan, the Windy City.
Was it the longest straightaway on the calendar?
Yeah. And we've got, what is that? September 21st is the race. So we got 2 weeks off?
Yep.
Oh no. What are we going to do?
Baku is a wild one. That castle section is so tight.
Turn one. I love turn one on Baku. That one is like that hard 90-degree left.
They always go into it 3 wide.
Yeah. Oh, it's so phenomenal because you got such a wide straight, and then it's like, all right, guys, you got to figure this out real quick.
That should be a ton of fun. I like Baku.
Yeah, that's a good one. All right. Well,
with that super long straightaway and like mid downforce setups, you get good passing. DRS is super effective here.
Yep.
So,
and once you get into that city section, it's hard to pass. That's actually that's where the I Am Stupid came from with Charles Leclerc, isn't it? He went into that wall,
the castle section wall.
Yeah. Oh man. All right. Well, Dylan, do you have anything else for this one?
No, I think you hit it all.
Yeah, like we said, race itself, kind of boring. There was some excitement at the beginning and some controversy at the end. If you like this podcast, make sure you leave us a rating and a review on whatever platform you're listening. If you're on YouTube, make sure you give us a like and a subscribe. And check out our Instagram, Formula_America. And I think that's it, Dylan. So on that note,
stay classy, America.
We'll see you next time.